Hello. One second. People on the other side can't see me. There it is. Haha! There we go. MB Becketdorf. Hello, hello. Things are fine. How's it going? Good to see you. Welcome to the channel. One second. Hi, Beck. How's it going? Welcome to the channel. Thank you for stopping by. This is not the drawing we're going to work on. Just when you're setting up the camera, you need to just get a drawing. So, anyways, it's very boring, but it's all the irritating little fiddly stuff you have to do before stream. How's it going, Beck? That is a good thing to be. I am very stuck on several of my projects right now with writing, so I'm just going to distract myself. I'm going to try and do some art to just get myself out of that headspace. Hopefully it will work. And then we can get back to where we are. It's called the shower principle, Beck. The human mind is incredibly strong and incredibly powerful, but it can get so Archimedes. You need to kind of just distract it by doing something else, doing mindless, repetitive tasks, and usually your head can get away from itself. What are you writing? Exactly. And the juices need a lot of space. Huh? I mean, that's also a good way to do things. Yep, I'm just gonna. I have a tendency also to procrastinate, jump from drawing to drawing. I'm just gonna pick one drawing I want to do and work on it this whole time, or until somebody asks me to do a different drawing. So I saw a movie last night. Yeah. Project Hail Mary with Mr. Ryan Gosling. I liked it. I have not read the book. A lot of people seem to really like the book. I'm actually curious to read it. I should put some music on. Let me put some music on. It feels very nerve-wracking to me if there's like not something playing in the background. Not too loud. Yeah, so yeah. I don't trust myself. Nope. Okay. Oh my god, dude! What did you think? I've been trying for weeks to convince people to read that comic. What did you think? It's good, right? It's good. Or you hated it. No, I like it. That's okay if you didn't, by the way. But I like it. I like the comic so much. Where did my pencil go? The one I was using. The one that had sharpened. Yeah. Yeah. It's. I will say this. It's going to change up the formula pretty quickly. You're just the first 10 issues are. It's I don't want to give it away, but the formula is about to shift pretty dramatically. You have to get to the first major arc, I believe, is Too Hip to Love, or Too Hip for Love. I think it's the first major one. And it starts messing with the formula. Oh, have you read? Yes, that's my favorite one. And then we're about to. See, I sometimes get confused because I usually read. Yeah. Sometimes I get confused. I'm gonna be honest with you, Bob. I usually read in trades, so sometimes I get confused exactly about the exact issue numbers. But yes, Too Hip to Love is the best one. And then the next arc they're about to do is going to really shift things up. I don't want to give it away what it is, but we're going to... a big change is about to come. Yeah. I just forget. I forget, Bob, the exact numbers. Yes, I know how trades work. I just don't really pay attention to the numbers. Yeah, but Too Hip to Love, man, that thing was, to me, that was maybe one of the best arcs in I've read in a long time. It just, like, and the twist of what was really going on. I don't know. I don't want to give it away if people haven't read it yet, but who the right? Well, the first 5 issues are kind of set up to what they're gonna do. The next arc, I don't want to give it away, but the next arc they do something very different, and I don't want to give it away. Right? It's like, sure, no, it can't be that. It can't be that. And then it's like, oh my god, no, it is. That's what's been going on this whole time? Like, to me, it's like such a good exploration of what like a truly unhappy marriage must be like, where it's just like you always feel like you can do something better. You are forever stuck with somebody you didn't think of too long term about. You're stuck with like people you don't think too long term about. You're stuck like there's always a better life just waiting for you, and you can never truly settle down because any second now you suspect that your new life can start, and like just decades pass. And I just thought it was so brilliant the way that handled it, you know, like. That could have been mine. I made a lot of videos about Love Everlasting. Yeah. And the fact that it's also like a very overt parody of like romance comics of the 50s. Let's go. Yeah, I covered this series pretty extensively at some point. Yeah, it sounded like a video I made. Well, to me, it is. I'm just indecisive about what I want to draw tonight. Okay, we'll just go there. To me, it is a. Well, Philip K. Dick is all about like reality, like different levels of reality and how much you engage with that. Yeah, I believe I might be like the #1 fan account of Love Everlasting, the series. I don't want to give too much away, but the next arc explores much more. We get into we get a little bit, we figure out a little bit more what's going on. Oh, I don't want to give it away in case other people want to read it, but Too Hip to Love is amazing. But you kind of need the setup of the previous issues to really get it. But you can really feel like one of my favorite comics ever, I think. Yeah, ever is probably his run on Vision. And you can really feel that influence. You can really feel like the fact that you can really feel his like vision, his that coming through. Yes, it was. It was the main inspiration, I would argue. Although his version is a lot darker. Like, it, Yeah. And the second one is the one that pops up, I think, more often. Yeah. You know what? I don't think I've ever played a Suda 5-1 game. I really want to. I know him. I know him a lot. I've heard of him praised a lot. I don't think I've ever sat down and played a Suda 5-1 game. For some reason, you're. Yes, I did hear about that. 1 second. I'm just trying to fix something. Okay, there we go. Romeo's a dead one. How is it? I have to. What's his most famous one? He has a really famous one. No. Yes, No More Heroes. But there's another one people always talk about. Killer 7. Yes, that's the one. I've heard people really talk that one up as a game I would like, and I think I would. People have recommended me that game before, and I really should play it. I didn't have a PlayStation. I had a GameCube. Yeah? Sometimes I think about trying to make a visual novel. I don't know. It would be a fairly low rent way to get into, of all the game genres, it would feel like a very... Well, I didn't know that. I was also a scaredy pants. I wouldn't. I don't know if I would have got. I didn't hear about that game. Okay, I was busy playing. What was I playing? Like Mario or something. I don't know. Really? This sucks. Okay. I'm not allowed to. Don't let me quit. I lie and I'm probably gonna quit. One more, and I'm not going to quit, no matter what I do. Okay, that works. Yeah. Well, that sounds right up my alley. Have you ever played, they make Hades now, the Supermassive, I always get them confused with the other, there were two game studios and they're named something very similar. But have you, did you ever play the visual novel they put out? Yeah, Pyre. I really liked that. Did you ever play that one? Visual novel. Visual novel slash basketball game. Yes, I love those games. You know, I have a friend. I've told this story before, but I know one of the voice actors from Hades. It actually made that game a little awkward playing it, but I know one of the voice actors from Hades. Evelyn Penrose. I took improv with her a few years back. Sure, sure. Feel free to share. That sounds like how I write. Yeah. It's a very... David Lynch said he wrote Inland Empire the same way. Is that he was never sure where he was going with it. He would just write it the day of. Which, for David Lynch, you can do. What if I made a visual novel? I've thought about trying to make a text adventure game before, but I was... Yeah. Yeah. Yeah? Really? Well, wasn't that... I think that was, you said that was like Suda's first game, so it might make sense. And Suda was trying to dial down being Suda. There's some writers out there who are like, I don't think they should dial down their things. Like, sometimes there's writers whose, like, particular tics and habits need to be kind of stopped. But other writers, it's like, if they're not doing... Yeah, well, more like he wasn't confident with what he really wanted to do, it sounds like. It sounds like then, but I always think that sometimes there's just writers who it's like, if they're not doing their thing, I don't know why you would want to watch their movie. Like, but then there's like with Suda, I'm like, yeah. Suda sounds like a guy that if you're not doing the Suda vision, then maybe you should, like, I don't know what you're here for. Like, I've gotten into the debate with some friends before about this. It's like, sometimes people have a style and they're like, if they keep doing the style, they get mad at that. I'm like, but it's their style. It's how they write things. You can't just go like, I hate, they're not mixing it up. They are mixing it up, but you can't like fight style at a certain point. I bought like 2 or 3. I'll get it maybe later. I bought like 2 or 3 games a few days ago. I need to wait until I have a little bit more money to get some more. Hey, if you want to donate me the money to buy it, I'll take it. But if not, I'm gonna wait until some money moves around. That's all right. It's fine. By the way, never... I feel like I got into the thing of like, never feel you have to give me money. By the way, never feel like you have to give me money. My mom hates it when I do this whole bit of like, don't, because it's like, well, they're not going to give you money then, Sean. It's like, but it's okay. It's okay. Never feel you have to give me money. I'm good. I hate when streamers like guilt people into like giving them money. Like, especially like successful streamers. I get it if you're like trying to raise money for stuff, that's fine. But like if you have like 2 million subs or something, you're like, well, you're not paying for it. I'm like, well, screw off. I just always remember when the pandemic. I started streaming during the pandemic, and when that hit, I saw a bunch of like stories of streamers like yelling at their followers for canceling their subscriptions because they couldn't afford it, and that all stuck with me. And I'm like, really? Like, really? Like I get it, but they don't have the money. What is this? So. Yeah. I don't know a lot of other streamers. Do you know? Have you ever played the Stanley Parable? I do know one. I do know them vaguely. Not enough. I've seen a few of their videos, but not enough to like say I'm a super knowledgeable person. I know that that's where Smiling Friend Guy. one of the Smiling Friends co-creators is one of them. Do you know the streamer Doug? That's one of the few streamers I do know. Then you probably know this. Do you know that the creator of that Davey Reed, they're brothers? Did you know that? I've seen a few of Doug stuff. I didn't know that they were brothers until like a few days ago. Yeah, I assume you did, but that surprised me. I'm like, I kind of assumed Davey Reardon just sort of appeared one day in an office building. Yeah. Yeah, well, he's not lying. He's not lying. Yeah. I'm trying to... I don't think I have. I'm trying to get... I'm setting up a website. Well, I have a website. I don't do anything with it, and I'm trying to get it working again. I'm trying to get it up and running again. And my plan is to start writing articles again. And one of the ones I'm working is to try and write some reviews and articles about stuff that I'm just interested in. And one of the things I'm working on is a very long, in-depth review of The Beginner's Guide by Davey Reardon, where I go into a lot of like my theories about a lot of like just concepts around it. Oh, really? That's fun. If you want to subscribe. Then it got me on this whole thing. I remember that, I guess it's this whole drama is past, I can talk about it now. And I won't incur his wrath. But, I remember that in the Beginner's Guide, that, Pirate Software was a huge fan of the Beginner's Guide, which in retrospect is, like, very funny to think about. It's Pirate Software. I don't know. I'm too much of a small fry for him, but I won't get in trouble by talking about him. Because I'm writing. Yeah, I was right. Because I'm writing this kind of like long form review of the Beginner's Guide and kind of its influences and kind of just some of the symbolism I noticed that I don't think other people have commented on. So, which is very funny because I know but anyways, oh dude, I wouldn't say I was like the biggest fan of Ross, but I have been watching Ross since he was on That Guy with the Glasses. Yes, I'm that old. Anyways, I was just. Yes, he was. That is a forgotten part of the story. Yeah, he was on That Guy with the. He was on That Guy with the Glasses. He was one of the people on That Guy with the Glasses. I think I'm like 99% certain he is, but there's a little part of me that's like, what? No. Yes, he definitely was, because I remember Friedman's Mind being on there. I now need to confirm for myself if he was. Even though I'm almost certain he was. Ross Scott, was he on That Guy with the Glasses? Yes, he was. Haha, I was right. My memory proves solid nonetheless. Yeah, I used to be very obsessed with That Guy with the Glasses, like when I was a teenager. Did that take you a while? How was it? How was the feeling? You know who else was on That Guy with the Glasses? You'll never believe this. Dan Olson was on That Guy with the Glasses. Really? I think about that. It's like if they didn't totally like screw it up. It's like they had Dan Olson, they had Lindsay Ellis, they had a bunch of like surprisingly popular people. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Well, he made like. Yeah, it's really surprising to think that they... Yeah, I know, right? It's really surprising to think that he was on there. Okay, this is the fun... Yes, she was. That's how I first came to know her. This is the funniest one. This is a thing that isn't really reported very often in the history of That Guy with the Glasses. Do you know who was almost on the site as a contributor? You're never going to guess who was almost on the site as a contributor. And when I tell you this, you will laugh nonstop at the idea that Dan Olson, Lindsay Ellis, and this person were nearly together. in the same production in this group together. You're never gonna guess. You're never. No. That makes too much sense. That would be too. No. You are literally is. Okay. Can you guess? It was Dark Side Phil. Yes. So think of it. There could have been a time where where Lindsay Ellis, Dan Olsen, and Darkside Phil were considered. Oh yeah, they're part of the same group of people. No, I don't. Oh, I know that. Yeah, he did one about Spoonie. I remember that one. I loved Spoonie when I was a kid. I hate what's happened. Ugh. Anyways. I mean, I do think, like, I don't think there's anything bad that came out. Poor Spoonie. I wonder who it was. I don't remember that. No, Doug has been married for pretty much, seemingly quite happily for years. I don't know. But Bob, don't you love like the masterpiece that is To Boldly Flee? Isn't that your favorite movie ever? That's on. Let's say that's on level. I don't know. At a certain point, I have to temper myself with this because at a certain point, I always think kind of making fun of the Channel Awesome stuff is as cringy as Channel Awesome could be. Like, what is more cringe? Like To Boldly Flee and all that stuff, or still caring about To Boldly Flee like 20 years later. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. That's so funny. Holy shit. Okay, as somebody who has watched, I think, almost all of them. Okay, I'm going to throw this out there. This is going to be controversial. I don't know if this will be controversial, but I think Kick-Assia is probably the best one of the three. Which sounds absurd, I know, but I think at least Kick-Assia attempts for like satire. On some level. the other three. Okay, let me see. If I can, I just need to find an eraser. I'll be right back. Okay, so here's the thing. With these three movies, they're all bad, so bad is a relative term. So what you have to do is instead judge it. Ah. They're all bad. They're all bad. But what you have to do then is instead judge it by the relative badness. The problem with like Suburban Nights and To Boldly Flee is that they both attempt to do more epic storytelling, but they're not capable of it. Like they're trying to do like, to be fair, it's not like, I don't think they're as delusional to like say, oh yeah, we made like the equivalent of like Star Wars, but they're trying to at least do like something on the level of like, I don't know, like what is it, like Dark Star or something, the early, yeah, Clerks, but more of a like, there's a very early John Carpenter movie, his first movie, is it Dark Star or Black Star, which is kind of got is sort of a space is a parody of space adventure movies. Yeah. And I think in their head they're probably doing something at least on the level of that, which is like low budget sci-fi comedy. But they're not they're not even really achieving that level. They're like it's amateur theater production level. So much so that, anyways, I have theories of how they could have pulled it off, but so you have to look at it on that. And the only one that I think gets almost to a satirical point and has actually maybe a little bit more of a pointed view of satire, and this is going to sound insane because it doesn't really it doesn't achieve it, but it has actually kind of a satirical edge that's kind of funny, is Caucasia. And the reason it's kind of funny is because it is a parody of, it has an idea, because it's a parody of like the failure of government, you know, like the failure of government and how somebody can let just a little bit of power get to his head. The fact that they nearly get into a war and try and hurt each other over a micronation that probably isn't real is kind of funny. That is a funny premise for a movie. And occasionally they kind of do okay. It's a funny idea that a micronation gets taken over by a dictatorship. And the story is it is a small man in real life who uses this little bit of power and lets it go to his head almost immediately. That is an actual satirical edge with an actual plot. They don't pull it off, and they're not good at it, and the story doesn't work. The story doesn't work because it's just, they also have to do all of like the review characters, and they kind of buy into themselves as it for a minute, and it just doesn't work. But there's a good movie that could have been made from that premise. You know what I mean? Like, there's a good movie that could have been made from that premise, and occasionally it gets to the point where occasionally it can do like actual satire of something real. The problem is, I've thought a lot about this. Knights of Caucasia is not funny. It feels like watching embarrassing LARPers walk through a park, which is what it is. And To Boldly Flee is totally out of their realm, and they should not have been doing it. The only one where they make a movie within their capability that they could have theoretically made was Caucasia, which I know sounds crazy, but Caucasia is like, okay, so, you know, is a movie that they could have made, they theoretically could have pulled off on that budget with their skill level. Not with their skill level, but somebody with the budget that they had could have pulled off a Caucasia. I could see the plot of Kick-Assia becoming a real indie movie that does well. Does that make sense? And it actually has a bit of a satirical edge to it. It doesn't work, but it could have worked. This could have been a real movie he just did. I'm giving so much credit to Doug Walker, but I could see how Kick-Assia... I always thought Kick-Assia could have been a real movie. I don't think Doug Walker could have made it, and I think it is ruined by the need to cameo. Like, if he had just made that movie, that could have been funny. I don't think Walker has the capability to write it, and, that might be, like, me pop. That might be inviting too much comparison onto me, but I could, God, that was a strangely impassioned defense of Kick-Assia, a movie I think is very bad. Like, if you're ever in the indie film scene for too long, yeah, exactly. Oh, Venom doesn't work at all as a character without Spider-Man. You need... You know what they should have done? Bob, I'm going to throw this out there. The problem is always they keep trying to do not Eddie. I've seen some of them. Yeah, they do keep trying to do. It's Eddie Brock, right? Yeah, I've read a lot of Spider-Man. I know this. Yeah, Eddie Brock. They should just skip the Eddie Brock stuff and go forward and do Flash Thompson instead. When he was Venom. That's a much easier way to do it, and that was designed to be a character without Spider-Man. It still doesn't totally work, but yeah, Agent Venom can work in a vacuum, right? That's what I'm saying. Agent Venom could have worked in a vacuum. You can even kind of you could even just kind of dimly imply that Peter Parker is out there somewhere, but you don't really need... Like, yeah, imagine a story about, like, somebody who loses... Yeah, Agent Venom... I don't know. They should just do Agent Venom. I don't know why they insist on doing... Eddie Brock doesn't really, I think, work as a protagonist. Because he's supposed to be just kind of... I don't know. I've never really got why they try and make Eddie Brock a protagonist. Like, keep Venom, but make it a different character. Like... Or we could do Mary Jane as Venom now, right? We all love that. I don't think I've ever been more irritated at a twist than Mary Jane being Venom. I like it when, like, comics, like, what they do is they take unique characters and remove everything that made them different and interesting and just make them a generic superhero. Like, not to go on this rant again, but I guess I will for just a minute. And then the main, who's the guy? He used to be my nemesis for a while. Kind of, like, pressured him back into coming. And unfortunately, it was like a complete disaster. Yeah, unfortunately, like it's like as somebody who's read those books, Jaden, it was a disaster to bring him back. He should have never been brought back. But his stuff is really good up to that point. Like, um, you should probably, if you want to like follow that team, like Spider-Man Blue, I believe is. They did a oh right, no, there's a Superman story that they did. What is it? It's like Superman. There's a Superman. They did a Superman series as well, and then they did a Spider-Man series. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I think he got kind of. I think he got kind of pressured into coming back. From the way it sounds, like they really wanted him to come back, and he just was not in the headspace to be there because those comics he wrote when he came out of retirement were just awful. And then he mostly worked. I don't know. I'm just repeating what I. By the way, I don't know if this is 100% true, Leb. If you see this, and I'm also pretty sure I'm saying your name wrong. I really respect you as a writer. I really love your early stuff. I feel very sorry about what happened to your son. I get why you wanted to retire. And if you were... Yeah. Unfortunately, he then got moved into Marvel Television, and that's where he produced... I believe he was one of the main producers on The Immortals. And anyways. Yeah. But I'm really glad you liked... Yeah, it was a disaster. It was one of the I hated that guy. Who was the editor? Because he was also the one responsible for the whole Mary Jane debacle. Marvel editor-in-chief. No, it's not him. It's not C.B. Kowalski. It is Jose. Joe Quesada. Yeah, Joe Quesada. Joseph Quesada. I'm terrible. Joe Quesada. Yeah. Yeah, Joe Quesada. I hated Joe Quesada so much as an editor. I always thought he was terrible. I always thought Joe Quesada, yeah, Joe. I think that about Zeb Wells too, Jaden. I agree with that about Zeb Wells. From everything I've ever read about this, how Spider-Man is produced behind the scenes, it is a nightmare to deal with. The editors are completely in charge, and you just kind of have to do what they want. So it kind of scares off any of the... I can't help but fight the feeling with Zeb Wells, that Zeb Wells was hired on specifically because he would say yes to whatever the editors wanted. I also feel like, this is my personal opinion, but giving TV guys like this much, not letting, if a TV guy wants to come over and start writing comics, that's fine. I don't care. People are like, it should be comic writing. No, you can come from outside. That's perfectly fine. J. Michael Straczynski came from, wrote Babylon 5 and then wrote some very good Spider-Man comics and then a couple of very bad ones. But still, but Okay, so the Paul thing, in my opinion, yeah, Spider-Man. I haven't read Life, but I really liked that run he did on Spider-Man a few years back. The Batman one was bad, but did you ever read? It has the most confounding title, but it's the spectacular. Anyways, he has a really good run on Spider-Man. Chip Zdarsky does. Like, he has a really good run on Spider-Man. There was an ongoing he wrote for a while that was really great, and that was like that was like my that got me back into comics. His Spider-Man run. But Zdarsky might be at the point now where, like, a lot of comic book guys get to, where it's like, I don't know. I haven't read his Captain America run. A lot of people really like his Captain America run. I probably should read that. Have you got around to reading his Captain America run yet? I do think Chip is like, as much as I think about Chip, is probably makes more sense as a Marvel guy than he does a DC guy. Like, he seems much more at home in Marvel stuff than he would be in DC stuff. Like, there's definitely writers that are just like Marvel guys or DC guys, and make more sense as Marvel guys or DC guys. Like, Chip Zdarsky makes much more sense as a Marvel guy than he does a DC guy. Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. I mean that's the curse of the modern day. So many good things to read, not enough time. I do feel bad for Zeb Wells, because I feel like he was frog marched into a situation that was a no-win. Because no matter what, Marvel people just don't seem to want to do Mary Jane anymore. I agree. One thing I've been reading, my examination into the history. You know, one thing I found out that was actually really interesting? Do you know that comic sales are actually recovering and have increased recently? Like, I was surprised to hear this, but yes, it's all because of you. But yeah, it seems that the death of, like, the comic book, which people are like, oh, nobody's buying comics anymore, is completely over-exaggerated. Comic books have seen a notable uptick in sales over the past few years. Not to the, like, insane, like, mega success that manga had, but it's becoming obvious that the comic book market seems to be recovering. Mostly, which I think is good news. Yes. But yes, you did it yourself, Jaden. Yeah. Yeah, it seems to be a couple things. What really helps is that is comic book stores apparently have been really, like, engineering the comeback. People apparently like just going to them. It's a reliable, like, they've been talking about this phenomenon. You know, I always need to do more research into everything, but it seems to be that people kind of like them because it's a third it might be, it's one of those vaulted third spaces that exist that everybody misses. You know? What's funny is I did the study, I looked into, I read some stuff about it, and it's like, it confirmed what I always thought. Do you know what isn't helping at all for comic book sales? You know what hasn't increased it in the least? Well, no, that's not true. It has definitely increased it. The movies. The movies do nothing. Well, no, I need to stop saying that. There's a noticeable uptick about 3 months before the movies come out. Any comic book movie comes out, and then it almost immediately goes back down. Also, the rise of like, yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad it spoke to you. Superman, A Man for All Seasons. Is that what it's called? Superman for All Seasons. I don't. You should check out Superman. I don't know if have I ever read this. Superman for All Seasons, which is the same team doing doing a Superman story. I'm proud of you, buddy. You're reading some real quality stuff. Next, we gotta go. It's really freaking good, isn't it? God, Lev was such a good writer. Oh, he was such a good writer at one point. Oh, I'll forever be bummed about what happened with Leb. Found is I would make quizzes for myself. There's online programs where you can just make quizzes for yourself, and as I was filling in the information to create quizzes, I would get very good. I would get very knowledgeable, and then I would just kind of keep re-answering the quizzes over and over again. And that really helped me study. That once I figured that method out, I went from like C's to B's pretty quickly. Because if I just did the quizzes over and over again, I would memorize the facts really quickly. And then there's like association things I did. Like I was always trying to associate facts with something in my head that I knew already. Yeah. Uh, you know, I just. I mean, we all kind of are, right? Like, we're just kind of making it up as we go along. How's that been going, buddy? You seem to have handled it pretty well, Jaden. I'm proud of you. You're acting very mature about all that. That makes sense. It's a very modern relationship you're in, Fade. Ooh. Anyways, so do you like playing the piano endless? I remember I just could not. I just remember the thing I couldn't pass was the home ec. Like, they always made you take a semester home ec, and I could just not pass those stupid tests that I would have to remember every inch. Okay, so we had the school I went to. We had to take everything, and I had to take home ec, and I don't mind taking home ec, but what I really to is, like, they had these extensive tests that I had to take where I had to learn every inch of the sewing machine and what all the parts were called and how all they worked, and if I didn't pass those tests I could not use the machine. So for like a year I was stuck just constantly retaking the stupid test over and over again, and it was like, the thing is, I knew how to use a sewing machine. I've used it before. My mom taught me how to use a sewing machine. I've known how to use a sewing machine. And it was like, I had to just keep retaking these stupid tests over and over again. And I just couldn't pass it. I couldn't get it passed. And I was like, I have to. And they were like, well, why aren't you doing well? Because I have to study real thing. I have to study real, like, things that I'm going to get graded on. Yeah. Yeah, that drove me up a wall. I hated that class. Anyways. I bet your closet is great. I think so, Jaden. But I've also never really read anything you've produced. I think you are. It sounds like you are. It sounds like you're thinking correctly. But I'd love to read something eventually you've written. Yeah. And yeah. And that is a very unique case, Endless. I usually hear the opposite. I hear people can do okay on the homework, but the grades, the tests really scare them. You are very unique in that, I would say. Uh, Jaden, 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 my friend, my buddy, my protege, my protege. Let me tell you something. That is my issue too. I have like 20 things I'm doing, and I struggle to get any of them done in time. Trust me, that is a very common problem for a lot of writers. Yeah. It's more about no, it's fine, Jaden. You're also Jaden. You're also young, so it's fine. It's fine to take some time to do. It's fine. That's fine. Trust me, that's my whole issue too. Is I always start like a million projects. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Don't hurt yourself, but don't accidentally start like a fire. Can I say Jaden? I think I know. I believe. Yeah. I believe Jaden is. Oh, you are. I thought you were. Are you, Jaden? Okay. I thought you had just entered high school though last year, Jaden. Okay. Wow. Oh my god, wow. Hey, you want to guess, you want to know something, Jaden? About that year, 2010? Guys. So, Fade, you were also born in 2010. Endless. Were you born in 2010? That's the year I graduated high school. I graduated high school in 2010. So, literally, you guys were born the year I graduated high school. Yeah. That is kind of cool, right? Oh. Believable. Let's see. Let's see. That is a good question. Internal consistency and believable motivations. You could, if you guys are curious about my high school experience, if I could for a second, and I want to. When I graduated from middle school, my parents moved across the world. We moved across the world to a whole new country. So I went into high school with no friends and not knowing anybody. So that was my high school experience. So endless. The fact that you're going to have friends and you'll know people and you've been part of the community, you'll do okay. High school, high school is high school. Yeah. High school is high school, and it's, you're going to experience a lot of life in high school. Like, a lot is going to happen to you in high school, and you're going to experience, a lot of it is going to go on. But you'll know people, you'll have been part of the system. You'll do fine, Endless. And it's just... Oh, hey, you know the feeling. Yeah. And here's the thing. Let me say this. It's not the best time in your life. I always hate when, adults tell kids, it's the best time in your life. It's not. There's tons of other good times you're going to have throughout your life. Yeah. Yeah. It's not. You're going to have tons of other really great times in your life. There'll be some good times. You'll have some good memories, but there'll be other... High school is just part of your life. It's not the only part of your life. Hey, I'm from Texas. Woohoo! Kashoot, kashoot. You'll do fine. You found this stream. You'll do fine. That's what we all say here in Texas. Kashoot, kashoot. Yeah, Dad's gonna be Dad. Quick fade. Who's your favorite Robin? I was teeing you up, Fade, so that we could know for certain if you were twins with Jaden. Alternate universe. Bat cow. No, 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 no. Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember this. It's a. Do you know Marvel? It's a ripoff of Marvel's Devil Cow, who is a vampire cow. Well, the story is that Dracula was running away from vampire hunters, and he had to run into he ran into a farm, he ran into a farm and had to suck blood quickly, and the first thing he saw was a cow. So endless. Okay. How many weapons have you made? Have you? If you could make any weapon, what would you make? Like what type of spear? Starting to get a little tired. I want to keep talking to you guys, but I'm starting to get a little tired. It's been I know I don't. It's been almost 3 hours. She doesn't have to change her name after she gets divorced. A lot of divorced people just keep the name. Is there any specific spear you're interested in, like a Chinese style spear, Jeez. Have you ever thought about like taking metal shop or something? That sounds like it would appeal to you. Well, your dad sounds like a real piece of work, Fade. Jeez. Wow. They both sound like pricks. I'll say this. They both sound like pricks. That's cool. But are you guys you ever thought about like making a broadsword or something endless? You know, think real big. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's turning out okay. Welcome in, welcome in. Sure. Okay, what about a katana? Yeah, if you want me to draw something, feel free. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. That's a very old. That's a. I don't get requests like that very often, but yeah, sure I can draw Oscar. Let's go with it. Do it. Wait, endless. Let me show something. Let me show. Can I show you guys something? Promise not to get weird about it, but I do have something I want to show you. Yeah, I imagine you picked it up from something. From a thing. Let me see if I can find it. Found it. Okay, endless. Can you see? Okay, so this is a bayonet. This is a bayonet from World War One. Okay, we're gonna take it out. It always scares me every time I take it out, but okay. Now don't get me in trouble for showing a weapon on stream. I have another thing I could show you. Give me 1 second, and then give me 1 second, and then I'm gonna draw Oscar. Okay? Yeah. Oh no. So I bought this I believe in Riyadh. I got this at Riyadh in Saudi. So I don't know, but it is clean. I get so nervous opening it that I have to put it back almost immediately. It just makes me so intimidated. Let's see. This is legitimately a piece of my heritage, or something. This is this is legitimately an inheritance I have. So, my grandfather, John Arnold, worked for Saudi Arabia in the 40s, for the Saudi Aramco in the 40s, and on his retirement he was gifted this. This is a, let me show you. This is a World War I Russian officer's sword. It is nearly about like 120 years old or something. Notice how it's essentially like just a giant dagger in a lot of ways. Right? Yeah. Anyway, so it was passed to my dad, and my dad left it to me. So it is mine. And if I ever have a son, yeah. Well, he can give me like money and a house, so I will pass it to him or a daughter. This is World War One. So I did a lot of research, and it is a Caucasian. Yeah. Oh God, no. This is safe and protected usually. I did a lot of research, and so this is a traditional. Isn't it cool? Isn't it cool? But yeah. Yes. Anyway, so yeah, it was given to my grandfather. This is like I never met my grandfather. So like this is the only thing I ever have from him. My grandfather died before I was born. So, and I am technically named after him. My name is Sean, but his name is John, so there were too many Johns in the family. I'm gonna put this back in its safe place. Okay. My dad was. I miss my dad. Yeah, neither of you are ready for a relationship. Okay. I don't know why I picked the hardest image. Oh, well, whatever. Yeah. Do you guys want to hear about a bit of drama that's going on in my family? Since it won't. Yeah, I probably shouldn't say. Okay, so I love this thing, by the way. This is amazing. So I legitimately closed the door. I don't care. None of them follow this channel, so they won't get back to them, and I won't use their names. But so my aunt and uncle been married for 50 years. They've been together for 50 years. And after my cousin recently got married. Oh. Sounds like you were a kid, Endless. That sounds like you were a little kid. And, okay. And they had this big 50th anniversary celebration. It's all lovely. Everybody's in love. And comes out. My cousin texts a few weeks later. Yeah, it turns out that my aunt has a boyfriend, and she's been seeing him for like a couple of months. And so now my aunt and my uncle are separated. They live in the same apartment building, but they don't live together. So it's been a big mess. Big mess. It has caused the family to grow very distant from each other. Yeah. That sounds not a good guy, Fade. You know, Jade, I know that hurt, but that does sound like probably. That is that's pretty. That's pretty sympathetic. Long distance is a hard thing to pull off, especially when you two are so young. I think. No, and it should. Don't. You were not wrong to feel like it hurt, but. Yeah. That's how a lot of bloody days start. Yeah. That's one of those situations where it's really nobody's fault, Jaden. You didn't do anything wrong. She didn't do anything wrong. It's just life got in the way. Yeah. Yeah. So MT, tell us a little bit about yourself. Sorry, this has got to be it's like a big sharing thing. What are you talking about? Men never get into fights over stupid, pointless bull. Ugh. Yeah. No, I don't know. It's so funny to me. It's like that dudes are like, I do hate so much. Thank you. I do so hate this, like, this idea that, like, men are perfect logical creatures and women are just silly emotion bags. And then, like, because I've met men. I am men. I can be very hurt emotionally and lash out for doing stupid things. Yeah. Jade, fundamentally, you did. Yeah. Yeah. What the worst is. What the worst. Are you an artist yourself, MT? What, I take it you like Evangelion, but yep. Nice. Uh, if you ever want to share, feel free to. My community is open, and my community is open. I think it takes a day before you can post in the community, which irritates me because I would usually just let people do it. But we also have a Discord and a Stoat now, so. We have a Discord and a Stoat now, so if you have trouble getting into Discord, I have set up a Stoat for you. For people who have issues with Discord. You should be pissed. It is something to be pissed about. It is something to be very, very mad about. Yeah, it just is. I'm sorry you had to go through that, Fade. If you like, my always opinion is like your sense of superiority only comes from, like, I don't know, like the genetic, like from, yeah, like just from being a dude. That's like the lamest thing in the world. Kids can be mean. When I was a kid, I mean, my major malfunction when I was a kid is the thing that would always get me is like if other kids thought I was really stupid, and that stuck with me for a very long time as a kid. Even now as an adult. Like, that still hurts quite a bit. Do you know where the term blue blood comes from? Have you guys ever heard that term before? I didn't realize where it comes from. We do writing and art. Do writing and art mostly. And then video-wise, I talk about like comics and stuff usually. You know, superhero comics, indie comics, manga. I've been reading a lot more manga than I used to. What are some of your favorites? I recommend a few weeks ago, I was like hard recommending this comic series called Love Everlasting. Fade, I think you would like that one, by the way. Love Everlasting. I think it fits all the things. It fits a lot of things you would be very interested in as a person. So Love Everlasting is about this girl, and what happens is every time she falls in love with somebody, she'll wake up in a new world and be in a new love story. It's always I don't know. Yeah. You guys are okay. You guys, yeah. It's. I don't know. I don't think it's bad when like people. It's a very cool premise. I really like it a lot. I've been like recommending it to everybody I can because I want more people to read it. I think you'd really like it, Fade, also. Yeah. 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 I think that's a really good way to live your life. There's another series from the same guy. It's a little bit complicated. It's from the same guy. So if you're curious, it's that Endless Love is from Tom King, whose work on Supergirl is going to be the basis for the new movie. I think you're pretty smart, Fade. You have a very I think you're smarter than you give yourself credit for, Fade. I've been talking to you for a while, and you I mean, intelligent There's a lot of people. That's very good. Yes, America loves you. I don't know why I picked this very difficult angle to draw. Yeah. I always take people's suggestions. I'm happy to draw anything anybody wants me to. The stuff you see me draw without suggestions is just me waiting until I get one. Sure. Okay, MT. It was really nice meeting you. How long have we been on? I don't know what chopped means. If that's a young person term, I don't know what it means. Oh. I don't think you are. No, don't. Can you and Fade still access Discord? You guys haven't been hit with age verification yet? Yeah, it's funny. I was kind of ready to get off, but okay. Fred. How's it going? Good to see you. Oh, wow, man. I could. Yeah. You guys couldn't have asked for. You guys couldn't have asked for stuff. How's that game going? Have you conquered the moon? You guys could have asked for stuff at the start of the stream, but I had board energy. Okay. You have been spawned. Yeah? Yeah? Give me 1 second. 1 second. I'm just looking for something. A second. Exactly what I wanted to find, but I can't find. I was looking for a pen. There's a specific pen I like. Yeah, I was gonna use. Sorry, give me 1 minute, guys. 1 minute. It's working. Okay. Okay. We're gonna do some inking. Okay, who do you want me to draw again? Endless? I'll say hi back in a sec. Who do you want me to draw? Tato! Okay, I can do him. Yeah. How's it going, yo, Tato? You're coding right now. Very cool. Boop. Okay. What are you coding?
I just see it move. Configure video. Let's see. Check this out. Son of a bitch.
There we go. Play. Okay. Okay. How's it going? That's so. Holy heck, Tato. That's so cool. You're always doing something cool. Okay, so what inspired you to make a California Gold Rush game? Your dream to go on the actual California Gold Rush? You made Flappy Bird? This isn't working. Okay. I'm just tired, guys. I'm just very tired. Okay. I'm gonna go quick. Yeah, that's very cool. So Tato, how have things been? How have things been going? What have you been up to these days? Okay. Okay. So I have been I'm feeling very tired, but I wanna get the request done. So we're gonna do some speed drawings. Okay. I'm gonna give myself 10 minutes for each request. Okay. Sound good? You were a chaos monster.
Your fourth dimension. So Tato, how has life been treating you? How is school? How is everything? I just want to know what's been going on. That's very cool. And endless. That's awesome. Did you go, or did you do what you did last time? Oh, you're 7th dimensional. Well, I'm 15th dimensional, Fred. And that's very cool that you can do stuff like that. And? Oh, that's fun. Did you go by yourself or with a friend? I'm proud of you, Tato. I'm proud of you for getting out of your comfort zone a little bit. Best way to do it. Actually, I was kind of resented I never went to any of the dances. I think in retrospect I should have gone. That's very cool, Tate. I'm very happy. I'm very proud of you. So are you any words. Sorry, I'm getting very tired, guys. I don't know if you can tell. Are you any like plays or anything this year or are you focusing on your Gold Rush RPG? I'm curious how that came about. Did you just want to really do a Gold Rush RPG? Yeah, all the cool people have appeared. How was that experience? So it was awkward? That's so funny. Yeah, Jaden, Tato, Fade. Yeah, the classic. A lot of the classic commenters are back. Conquer it. It's yours now. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Jeez. No, you do. Is it Fade? How about Faded? What about Faded? Or Fated? Fade out, yeah. Do you ever think that... No, that's what I'm saying. So that could be your couple name, Fated. The Fated. Oh, yes. Haha. Ah, haha. 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 Fade to the power of 2. Okay. This isn't the best drawing I ever did, but you should do stand up. I also think you should do improv, but have you ever tried improv, Fade? I think you'd have a good time doing that. Billy Bing. Who's Billy Bing? Why am I getting all these suggestions now when I'm tired? Who's Billy Bing? Tell me who Billy Bing is. I'm seeing a lot of things. I don't know who Billy Bing is. So, Fade, Tato, are you reading or watching anything new? Did your dad recommend you Pluribus yet? No, I'm trying to get. Okay. Did you like it? Yes, good. Glad you liked that. Well, I figured if you'd liked Severance so much. Okay, what comes after E, everybody? Yay, you did it! DRUWZVTOGLMTAVURXE. That's how you spell your ZVTQMVLY. BZZTU. That's how you spell your ABTs. Okay, what's the next suggestion I got? Okay, Jaden wanted Spider-Man. I'm so tired. Okay, Jaden, you wanted Spider-Man, right? You going to bed? Okay. 5 minutes. Now we're doing hyper fast drawings. I'm gonna every suggestion is gonna go down by a minute. So is gonna go down by half. So right now we're doing 5 minutes. We're gonna do that until it's like 7 seconds.
But who is Billy Bing? I don't know who Billy Bing is. You have to tell me who that is. Oh, okay. Fate, by the way, if you ever... if you ever finish your game, by the way, send it to me. I'll play it here on stream if you want. You two, you know, Jaden, you and Fate have a very cute relationship. Well, now that I know it's a character from your game, though, Tato. Fred's in his own world. Yes, Tato is making a game. Now I know it's a character from your game, Tato. I'd take more time. I'd want to take more time with it. This is the worst Spider-Man I've ever drawn. Okay. I would say it counts as an art project. It's a very cool art project, but yeah. I can see them. Usually, you got a cool art teacher. Okay. Okay, that was Spider-Man in 5 minutes. Okay. Now, Faye, I am very willing to, because it is your it is the main character in your story. I'd be willing to do it again, but properly. But if you want me to draw something, if you want me to draw it right now, we can. I'm half Canadian. I have Canadian citizenship. Okay. What do we want to draw? What? I'm in Tato. Sorry, Tato. I'm sorry. Do you have any like reference material for Billy Bang? I'd be very happy to draw. Do you want to post something? Do it. Because I'm tired. I'm tired, Fade. I'm tired, that's why. Okay. Oh, okay. I can draw that. Okay. One, that's very good, and two, I will draw it. But I'm only giving myself 2 minutes. Yes. And because you and Tato followed right around the same time, so I kind of mentally put you two together. And you... Okay. Okay, it's 2:25 right now. Okay. Okay, I'm giving myself only 2 minutes and 25 seconds to draw this. Okay. And you two bounce off each other very well. Okay. Go to the bathroom. Go to the bathroom. Please go to the bathroom. So, Tato. Will we ever be allowed to play this game? I'm very curious, Tato, about two things. What inspired you to make a Gold Rush game? And, what inspired this character? Billy Bing, yes. Okay. Okay. That was 2 minutes, 25 seconds. Now we have 1 minute. Okay. 12 seconds. Okay, what do we want next? Yeah, we don't need another failed artist. Was it? I think it's cool. Was it Bat Cow? I think we wanted bat cow, right? Okay. I'm having this, by the way, every time we do it. So it's now 1 minute and 12 seconds. I have 1 minute and 12 seconds to draw this character. And then we'll go from there. And then we'll do Thea. Okay, starting... No. Damn it! Okay. Okay. $56. Hey, Pyro. Yeah. We're doing a thing. Welcome. I'm taking suggestions, but every time I take a suggestion, I have to have it. I have to go in half. Okay. Yeah, we're doing that next. But we're doing it in the way I said. Is this the thing you're asking for? You're Team Fortress 2 artist? Okay. So now I only have 56 seconds to do it. What is it? You're half on you. Okay, starting now. What's your favorite character to draw in Team Fortress 2? Okay. 56 seconds. Next suggestion. Jellyfish? There, jellyfish. Okay. Divided by 2. Now I only have 14 seconds. New suggestion. What's the next suggestion? I have 14 seconds to draw. Bird. Okay. Done! Jaden's the best. Jaden is king. Jaden is boss. Okay. Seven seconds. Jaden is life. 7 seconds. What should I do? What's the instrument you draw? You do? You play, Fade? I only have 7 seconds to draw something. You know what? I'll draw your little PFP, Fade. That's what I'll do. I'll draw your little PFP. I only have... No. I'm not. No. French horn. I'll draw a French horn, okay? I have 7 seconds to do that. 7 seconds, good. Done! Three seconds. Okay. What else? Does anybody want me to draw anything else? I'm doing this until I hit 0. What's the next thing you want me to draw? Okay. I'm drawing square. I can do a square. Okay. Starting. I'm just not going to change the page. Starting now. Done. Your boyfriend is Pete. I'm happy that you have a good boyfriend. Okay. What's a nonagon? Okay. 1 second. What's a nonagon? Is that a circle? That's what I'm going to interpret it as. I have a circle to draw. Okay, starting. Oh, shape with 9 sides? 9-sided polygon, okay. I'm tired, I don't care about shapes. Okay. Starting, okay. I have literally a second to do this. Starting now. Nope! Okay. Okay. Okay, we're officially under a second. I cannot go any lower than that. Or can I? Okay. Okay, the next is... That's as low as I can go. Okay. 0.8 milliseconds. Okay. Starting now. No. Couldn't do it in time. Okay, starting. Yep. Okay, reset. It's literally microseconds now. I'd have to do it in like a quarter of a microsecond, Fred. I don't think I think I've stretched the human possibility of things I can do. There. No, okay. Atomic. Well, okay, let's get an atomic clock going. That's the best way I can figure out how to do it. On your head. Clock that goes down to nanoseconds. Timer that goes down to microseconds. Okay. We have 8. The next thing is 8 microseconds. This will be the last thing we do, okay? I need one suggestion that I could theoretically do in 8 microseconds, okay? What could I do theoretically? Do a dot. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Damn it. There we go. Okay. I'm officially tired, guys. What if I sold this as a piece of interpretive art? Ray! What are you doing here? I'm about to call it ending. Oh, Ray, it's so good to see you. Oh, I'd like to talk to you more, Ray, but I'm about to call it. Oh, how's it going, Ray? I think I missed Ray, but it's good to see you, Ray. Okay. I think I'm done. I'm tired. I want to go to sleep. Okay. R-A-Y. He's over on Twitch. Okay. Okay, guys. It was really great talking to you all. You lovely people. I always enjoy talking to you guys, but I am exhausted. I'm going to call it here. I'll try and get on again sooner rather than later. Okay. Hang loose, brah.